That's better. All right, so the too long didn't read of this. Does it function? Yes. Is it accurate? It's about what could be expected. Do I recommend you buy one? No, and there are some caveats to that later in the video. All right, so if you're still here, I sent the gun off to PSA on, let's see, what was it? February the 24th. I inquired where my gun was on March the 23rd. Took them about 5 days to get back to me. And they basically told me, hey, they were waiting on parts. I then get a notification from UPS on the 14th of April, letting me know that I had a package coming tomorrow, being the 15th. And so I've had it since then. What repairs were performed? Let's see, they replaced my barrel, my rear sight base, my combo gas block, and they say my front trunnion. I don't know if I believe that. It looks to be exactly the same trunnion that was sent off the second time, but who knows? I'm not going to show comparisons because I had the audacity to show the internal workings of firearms that I can legally own, and YouTube has essentially nuked my channel because of that. So I won't be doing that. So since I've had it, how's the performance been? It has been 100% reliable. I've got about 260 rounds through it. Pretty much all of it was the Monarch, which is just Bernal rebranded, 60 grain. We've been 100% reliable. It's about a 3 to 3 1/4 MOA gun, which is about what can be expected out of this barrel length and this caliber. So nothing really to complain about there. So is it a sniper's weapon, as Gun Thoughts would say? No, it's not, but that's not really what this gun is meant for. It's kind of meant for 150, 200 meters and in. So for that, it's perfectly serviceable. So there's nothing really to complain about when accuracy and when it comes to accuracy and reliability. All right, here are some firing segments. All right, this is the first shots of the PSA AK105 after it's been in their repair shop for about 2 months. I'm using Bernal, branded as Monarch. It's a Russian manufacturer ammo. And let's see, what else? It's just a random assortment of mags. I just grabbed them at random. These are all known to feed out of guns that actually function, so let's see. You might be asking, why in the slow-mo footage does it not have the Texas Weapon Systems dogleg on it with the EOTech? Well, this is why. Now, what caused that? Basically, it's the bolt carrier group is about a 0.5 millimeter taller than it should be. And also, I've had to reprofile the hammer in this thing. That's something I kind of do normally, but it's never something I've had to do for the functionality of it when installing an ALG trigger. So, even though it's been accurate and reliable, I still have a problem with the bolt carrier, which is hilarious, I'm sure. This is kind of just a personal thing, but it's funny to me that I haven't shot it with the spare 74 bolt carrier I've got laying around, but it just feels smoother hand cycling it with that than the bolt carrier that came with the gun. So again, you know, and this is just kind of a critique of PSA AKs in general. I think with the exception of maybe the Ultimac, I think that's the only thing on this gun that didn't require significant modification to fit. For instance, I had to machine the crap out of the dust cover just to make the gun cycle. I'm gonna get that refinished by a gunsmith, so it's kind of whatever. But just to make it function, and it still will stick if I don't have a buffer in it. So that's just kind of a critique, really. It's if you were just going to run your standard dust cover with a side rail mount, don't even worry about it. That's no big deal. But for me, it was just kind of annoying. Like, come on. As Robsky would say, it's not a Lego gun, and I know that's kind of the case with all AKs, but I think every single modification I've done to this has required significant modification to the parts. So, you know, that's something to consider too. In fact, what is it, Sure Shot Armament Group, like the competitors to the Zenitco, with like their chassis system, they specifically say on their website that their Mark III chassis will not work and is completely incompatible with PSA guns because the distance between the front sight base, or excuse me, rear sight base and the barrel is a completely different measurement from, say, a Russian or Bulgarian gun. And these guns are loosely based on the SLR Bulgarian series. So it just kind of, to me, and like the back, the socket for, I know you can't see that, but the socket is also completely different from a Bulgarian or a early Russian gun with the 4.5 millimeter rear trunnion. It's just like, do you not own a set of calipers? Can you not measure stuff correctly? Like, come on now. All right, so would I recommend this gun? The Gen 1s, unless you can verify that it's a factory reworked gun that you know has been test fired at the factory, I would not buy it. Or if you're buying from on the secondary market, if you're buying in person, ask to fire the gun and run a magazine through it. And if you're buying online, I would say ask the seller to provide video evidence of the gun firing. PSA probably won't see this video, but this is kind of a message directly to you guys. This all is a question of your QC. I know you can make decent firearms. You have demonstrated that a couple of times for me personally. But it seems like with stuff like this, you just choose not to. The gun, you claim you test fire every firearm before it leaves the factory. There's no way in hell this gun was fired the first time I got it. And I'm gonna doubt that it was test fired the second time I got it. That being said, again, 100% reliable this time, but it took 3 times at your factory and 4 months after I bought it for it to be reliable. So perhaps in the future you should consider like a pre-order system or like a wait list, just so you guys aren't so rushed to get new products out to people. That might help with your QC, I'm not really sure. But just some thoughts from a consumer's point of view. Quickly going over the modifications I did to this gun in case anybody's wondering. AK Builders 4-piece. It's an exact copy of the Bulgarian 4-piece, but not $400. It's like $100. Let's see, Ultimac M1B, Warsaw Wood, shark fin mod on a dong, Circle 10 45 round RPK, EXPS3, let's see, Gen 3 dogleg, Romanian bake pistol from refinished by, what is the name, Low Tide Supply or whatever, ALG AKT, Armbar 8 by JMac with their 4.5 millimeter mating, like lockup. Let's see, Tailhook Mod C. Eventually it'll probably get a Resonator K on a JMac 24 millimeter mount up on the front, but other than that, this gun's pretty much done. Basically needs a weapon light and eventually get like a pursed 4 for it. So